Okay, guys. So yeah. So this is part two of the moment that I was talking about on about 2 days ago. So I had to stop because of course like I heard KJ crying in the background. I'm like, whoa, let me go get my baby. But so where I left off at is I was talking about just being in a moment and realizing the moment. So I was speaking about how I remember praying to God about if he would get me back to this specific place in my life that I would do something totally different. And it's crazy because I know people always talk about manifestation and speaking things into existence. And honestly, I might even cry like on this one. So please forgive me. I'm just, I'm happy. But I remember like, telling God like, dang, I messed up, or feeling like, I messed up because I was working on trying to make everybody happy, but as well as making myself happy. And I remember being in this dark place and I was super depressed. And I remember saying, like, God, if you could just get me back to this point when I was in Vegas 2017, living my best life and, giving all praises to you. Like, if you could just get me back there, I promise you, I won't disappoint you. I promise you, you know, I'll do it, I'll do things different. In other words, like I'll do things not in my own control, but in yours. And it's crazy because I had a moment while I was in the Bahamas and I was sitting on the bed and I was like, wow, this is the moment. Like, God, this is what I prayed for. And I say that to just, not say that I regret anything that I went through. I feel like I definitely had to go through that because I would have never realized what difference I could have made or even grown in that aspect. So for me now and where I am now, I just look at it and I just be like, you know what? I thank God for growth. And I thank God for allowing me to be open-minded, allowing me to, be open-hearted about a lot of stuff. And like everything that I do now is completely personal. Like every decision I make, it's a personal decision. Like I no longer put myself in a predicament. I do got a little tear, but put myself in a predicament to feel like because I want to make you so happy, I'm going to still be happy, but kind of compromise my happiness. And so for my YouTubers, this is like my message that I have for you. If they love you, they're going to love you for you. If they care about you, they're going to care about you for you. No one should have the expectations for you to be anything less than the person that you are. And people who are kind-hearted, very much so a nurturer, kind of like myself, you don't want to disappoint anybody else. You don't want to tell nobody no, not because what they may say, but because your heart is just so profound on trying to fix everything. But it's not your job to fix it. Like a lot of situations, you have to really put yourself in a position, just be like, God, is this what you want me to do? Is this, are you putting me here in this position to help this person because this is what you want, me to do? And I know that sometimes we always want to be the yes person or, wanting to be the dependable person. But if we start to move and constantly doing for everybody else, we're going to drain ourselves. I know, because I drain myself. We're going to drain ourselves. And the worst thing you could do is drain yourself and put yourself in a position to where you're not good for not only other people, but yourself. And I say that because I could give the best advice to anybody else during that time. But for some reason, I didn't have what I needed to pick me up. Like, I was depressed, but I knew all the things. I knew to read my Bible. I knew to go to church. I knew to talk to other people. I had all the resources, but I didn't use them. But it was only because I was so drained mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that I didn't know how to just be like, this is what I need. And I told myself, like, God, if you get me out of this spot, this crud, like this. And I mean, and if my real people are real, because I like real people, because I keep it real with y'all, so I want y'all to keep it real with me. We all go through it. We all are put in a bad spot. Not to a point where it's anybody else's fault, but we all go through something that it seems like we're constantly, like when I picture it, like when God gives me this image, I picture falling into a well, but it's like a muddy well. So it's almost like, y'all ever seen them movies when they running and they fall in a dirt hole or something like that? But you're trying to climb out, but it's like it's raining. So it's almost like while you're trying to climb out this dirt pile, it's raining. So the rain is turning to mud. So as you grab it, it seems like as soon as you get to a certain point, you fall down because the dirt is getting hit by the rain. And so what you're gripping is losing its grip. That was deep. Like, that was real deep. But no, seriously, it's like, and that's what I felt like. I felt like I had fell in this hole and I had all the resources to try to climb out. When I was climbing, but I couldn't get out. And that's the image that, God gave me. And I was just like, how am I going to get out? How am I going to get out? It didn't matter who I talked to. It didn't matter who told me all the right stuff. I couldn't get out. Like, I literally could not get out. And it would just keep raining. I feel like it would keep crawling. And when I say it kept raining, you've been in those positions where it seems like as soon as you take 2 steps forward, you get knocked back 10. That's the rain. That's that rain I'm talking about. As soon as you're climbing up, that's the rain that comes. And then the mud, it seems like as soon as like you're climbing, then the rain comes and now it turns to mud. So now you're slipping back again. It's a constant fight. You have to constantly fight. If you're not fighting, you're not going to get there. You have to constantly pray. How do you fight? By praying. You have to constantly manifest things. God, this is what I want. I know it looks like this right now, but this is what I want. I know it feels like this right now, but this is what I want. Show me what you want from me. And it took me 2 years, y'all. And I'm not just saying, it took me 2 years to climb out of the well. And now, to be honest, and now I'm at the top of it. And you know how you be hanging on the cliff and you holding on, you don't want to fall off. You need to kick your leg up. Like, that's where I am right now. I've climbed out. Now it's up to me to take a hold of him and allow him to actually pull me out. So that moment was the moment I needed to say that I prayed for this and it took 2 years. And that goes back to say that, look, it's not going to happen on our timing. We're going to have to go through some things. He's going to want us to feel some things, see some things, experience some things, learn some things when we're going through some things. And it's up to us to still find joy and happiness in those moments. It's when we lose the joy and happiness that we tend to sink. It's when the rain comes in and we allow it to defeat us. I learned that rain is actually good. And now I see a brighter side to the rain. Like, for me, rain is like tears. You know how it's raining and it's constantly pouring down? It's the same way if you're crying. It's just a release. It's just that God is releasing something to wash away the old and bringing in something new. And so now that's how I look at it now. So when it rains, what's crazy is when it rains, like almost every time it rains, I just be crying. And I always say, like, God, I know it's you because you washing away some old to bring in some new. And so that's just my tip for some of you guys. That's just a little inside of me. And of course, you know, I'm always keep it real with you guys. And I just thank you guys for tuning in to Getting Through. I just wanted to share that moment with y'all. And that just goes to say that it doesn't matter how long it takes. It matters that you continue to have the faith. Like, have the faith that this is what you asked for. This is where you want to be. Continue to manifest that over your life. Continue to put truth with words. You can't do it alone. You definitely need him. And you have to constantly pray. Pray about what you want. Continue to seek what you want. And eventually, when it's his time, it too shall pass. And he'll make it work for you. Like, I'm a strong believer in, you know, knowing what it's like when he makes it work. And don't get me wrong, I still go through stuff. And as y'all continue to watch Getting Through, you'll see some of the trials and tribulations. But I share my story to help somebody else. I don't share, you know, I mean, how many people just out here telling their personal business? I mean, I just feel like with biblical truth and just seeing God be so transparent in my life, that I want it to reflect and help somebody else. And so, yeah. So that just speaks about the moment that I had, and, you know, learning how to take in those moments and experience those moments and allow and see what God is actually trying to tell you. So once again, this is your girl Keisha C, tuning in to Getting Through Part 2 of Moments. Y'all have a good night.